Hey, what's going on, guys? Jared here. Today I have a brand new deck for you. This is going to be something I have been working on and been messing around with some of my friends. But I've taken it into DB rated and it has not done the worst. This is going to be a new FTK deck that I have been messing around with. It's taking the bones of a different FTK and then using them into a current meta where we have a card like Zolantis that got released in Darkwing Blast. And I'm frankly surprised that nobody has actually been doing this. At least on YouTube, when I was checking, there wasn't any Rescue Ferret Zolantis combos happening for at least a year, I believe, when I looked up from the on the YouTube algorithm. So yeah, I'm going to show you the combo real quick, and then I want to show you the deck, and then I'm going to show you like how it works and why it's built in this way. And please remember, I'm still testing this. I have no idea how actually good this will be, but this is something that I'm just messing around with for fun right now, and it's been working better than I thought it would have. And subject to change is definitely going to happen probably because I've made changes to this deck, I feel like, every day. So yeah, let's just jump right into some how the FTK actually works. Okay, guys, so pretty much this is the game state that you want to get to. So what you want to get to is a Yugioh with a Rescue Ferret, or Rescue Ferret with 3 arrows pointing pointing down. So you can also use a Link 3 for this, but Yugioh is just the easiest one. So when you get to this point in a combo, you pretty much activate the Yugioh, special ferret. It's very straightforward. Use the ferret, go back into the deck, and then you special out your cannon soldier, your telephone, and your other telephone. Now, normally this doesn't work because ferret does negate the effects of the monsters that you summon off of its own effect. But because of Darkwing Blast, and we got this insanely broken card called Sea Dragon Zolantis, yeah, we can just do this, banish all of them, and it resets all of their effects. So it banishes them all and then resummons them. And because it banishes all of them and resummons them, this also resets the ferret, negating them. So now they're all live, and now you can infinitely loop Cannon Soldier and the 2 Telephons, because Telephon being a soft once per turn and being able to revive itself. I don't know why a card like this got designed in 2022. I don't understand how Cannon Soldier is not banned as a not once per turn tribute burn. And I also don't understand how this card even got printed through Konami, because I think this is one of the dumbest cards ever made, and it will be abused in something. This is just my little take at it. But that's pretty much the breakdown of the combo and how it works. Now I want to show you the deck of what I think facilitates this the best, because right now, this is like you have like the world the world is your oyster with such a simple combo that only takes 2 extra deck spots and 3 main deck spots. So I'm going to show you what I came up with for now. Okay, so this is the deck list that I made currently. I am not positive if it's going to stay like this, but for now, this is what I have, and I know it looks super wonky, and it's like, what the hell? This is like, it's so bad, it's almost budget besides these Fenrir's. Maybe Appaloosa, Baron, but like, all these cards, they're really not needed, to be honest. This is just like fluff of like good cards for the deck. So pretty much the logic was that I needed to find a deck that could facilitate summoning a bunch of bodies with no restrictions early on. And I don't know if you guys have ever read the Libromancer cards, but they facilitate this extremely well. They have 3 different searchers that pretty much all get to each other, which is absolutely insane. They also ritual summon in a not once per turn fashion, so that also makes Ben 10 insane. They also don't use their normal summon, which also makes Herald the Diviner insane. So you have a lot going for this deck. Now there is some other weird cards in here that you might see, like the Invader here. You also see the Fenrir's, again the Petite, the Chaos Valkyria. There are reasons for these, the Magician Souls package. So the reason for a lot of these cards is that this deck doesn't use its normal summon for Diviner, first of all. So you can go Diviner, dump the Herald of Arclight, and then be able to search Illusion, Doombroker, Ben 10, which is super, super strong because it gives you access to any of the ones you want. This also, on the field, is a tuner, and then you can use, sometimes you have so many bodies on the field that you're able to synchro with it and make a Baron to 4, and then go into the Yugioh, and then do the FTK with protection. You also can use Diviner's other effect when it's tributed. So if you actually somehow ritual with this card, or you have this in here, you contribute an effect monster, a special summon it, and you special summon a token, no restrictions at all. That will trigger the Diviner, and then the Diviner will trigger in the graveyard because it was tributed by this to summon Cyber Petite Angel, and then Cyber Petite Angel will trigger to get Ben 10 from your hand. So if you have the first appearance on the fort, you can normal summon the Diviner, send the Herald of Arclight, search the Doombroker, activate this, special summon itself and a token, use the Diviner, special summon Petite Angel get Ben 10, use the field spell, tribute the Ben 10, summon the Doombroker, it's you just got 4 bodies from that alone, from just breathing. You just breathe, and it's crazy how easy this is. And then you can use the Ben 10 to get the Valkyria. That's 5 bodies. Stupid how dumb this deck can be. So yes, Valkyria and Petite Angel are in here. Valkyria is here for the extra Ben 10. When you tribute off Doombroker, you need 2 bodies. Or you tribute off Ben 10 for Doombroker, you need an extra body. You get Valkyria because it's a light that's a free special summon that can go in the Saryuja. And then Petite is to summon off the Diviner. This is in here as a very good small world bridge because a lot of the monsters in this deck actually have 2,000 attack or 2,500 attack and defense. So they actually bridge very well. Agent bridges with Doombroker because they're 6s, but then the Invader bridges with Doombroker. And I believe the Agent because of the 2,000 defense, which then this card is what allows you to search Herald, Diviner of the Herald with the Small World. Small World, obviously, you want to get with Rescue Ferret mostly because you actually need to draw into the Rescue Ferret. You do not search it, except for with Small World. But overall, the deck is extremely consistent. Fenrir is also in here as another Small World bridge because it is actually a Psychic, and it winds up with Geek Boy also being a Psychic. So you actually have a plethora of ways for this deck to work. Agent is your main way bridge for Small World to get the Ferret because it's a level 6 Earth. Only the Earth matches up, so you can use Agent from, say, something like Ben 10. If you have, an extra Ben 10 in hand, you Small World Ben 10 for Agent for Ferret. There's many ways to do it through Agent. Agent is, the best bridge ever. I might change the list still, because God forbid you draw both. God forbid you use both, because if you draw both, it doesn't matter, because you can start Yugioh 1 back. So, again, this deck fixes its hands well. I think that's all that really has to be explained for the main deck. The field spell is just a bonkers card to be able to search and ritual summon more than once per turn. Doombroker is actually a really good card going second because it shuffles away and attacks directly when it does battle damage, so it threatens a lot of stuff on the board. These cards are just bodies that you just throw up on the board. Fenrir is obviously just broken, and I think that's pretty much it for the main deck. Prep Rite searches literally all your rituals. Itali can summon Geek Boy, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the main deck. I'm not going to go over the side deck because the side deck's not really anything special. It's really just in here in case I go second, or if it's a really bad hand trappy matchup. But for the most part, it's just whatever. The only thing I wanted to take in here is the traps, because I think the Libromancers have 2 good trap cards. So if you do ever one that just play a Libromancer deck, which I think is actually viable after playing this, because some of the boards this deck make is absurd without the FTK. Okay, I have made triple Saryuja before in a turn, so you can do a lot of insane stuff with this. So this trap card is a negate and refills your resources at the same time. And then they have another trap card, which I believe is this one, which is actually just a permanent change of heart if you return a ritual monster, which your Doombroker is going to be getting this, and then you leave the Doombroker on the field. So it's actually just a permanent change of heart that you can get for ritual summoning. Very, very good. So you have a lot of leeway with how this deck works. So now moving on to the extra deck. We have the one Elder Entity Entes, the Baron, the Herald. Herald is not only in here for Diviner, you can also hard make Herald. There is combo lines where you can go into Saryuja. You actually normal summon Telephon and you synchro with it with the Geek Boy, because Telephon is also a tuner, because why not? And then you can actually use the Herald to protect your combo, because you only need 1 Telephon on the field to do the FTK. You can actually special summon with Ferret, 1 Telephon, Cannon Soldier, and Magician Souls. And then the FTK still works perfectly fine if 1 Telephon's in the graveyard, which is also very stupid. So yeah, Herald's a double use here. It might go to 2, I don't know yet, but for now, this is fine. And then for the links, we have 1 Appaloosa, 1 Boral Sword Dragon, 1 IP, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Unicorn, 1 Linkaribo, 3 Saryuja. I have made all 3 multiple times. 1 Scareclaw Tryheart, 1 the Arrival Cybers adding Nister, and 1 of the busted World Sea Dragon Zelantis. I can't stress enough how consistent this is. I know FTKs are usually pushed to the side, they are usually hand trapped to death. They are inconsistent. These one of those apply here. Hand traps do still hurt, obviously. I'm not going to lie to you. Hand traps always hurt. But in a format where Joshua Schmidt won his YCS with no hand traps, a lot of people have picked up on that and chose to play things like Lava Golem, Super Poly, Forbidden Droplet, Triple Tactics, Talents, Raw Sphere mode. And they are more in a board-breaking meta, or evenly match also, is being heavily played, if you can look at the last YCS. And all these cards are being played over traditional hand traps like Ash, Imperm Veiler, etc., etc. So a deck like this can really shine because they think in their brain, oh, I'm just going to break the board on my turn. And then in your mind, you're like, you're not getting a turn. You're just ending the game right now. And there has been multiple times I've played Runic Sprite on rated DB, and they have Lava Golem and something in their hand, and it doesn't do anything. I don't care what runics you have in your hand, because you're dead. You have 0 life points, and I have an infinite amount. So this deck is very, very silly. Some of the extra deck cards might look a little weird. I'll explain them as best as I can. So I already went over the Yugiohs and the Zelantis. The Arrival adding this is actually in here for if you do get hand trapped. Some decks, such as Pure Sprite, for instance, they actually have a hard time outing this, and this is a generic card. So what happens is you go into your normal play, and you have Telephon, Cannon Soldier, and Yugioh. This will be perfect information that they know exactly what they hand trap, which would be one of the Telephons. That would end your turn. But you can actually link the Zelantis, 1 Telephon, and the Cannon Soldier for the Arrival, and then that is a 3,000 attack Arrival adding Nister. And for the Runic Sprite deck, that is very, very hard to out. It is a pain in the ass for them to beat that. Unaffected and 3,000 attack is very annoying. So it's just a tech card in here that I chose. A lot of people forget that this is just a generic 3 monsters with different attributes, and it gains attack per the attribute. There's actually nothing in here involving Cyberse monsters. And it is a link 6, so Zelantis being 4, Cannon Soldier, and then the Telephon is link 6, so it does still work. Link Karibo is just in here because there is some cheeky plays you can do. If you somehow lose Cannon Soldier but you still have 2 Telephons, you can do a Link Climb play, and because, Telephons are infinite, so why not? The Nightmares for going second because, we just need to clear things, and you have a lot of Link fodder in this deck. IP Masquerena for an interruption into Unicorn, which works out very well a lot of the time. Especially against Sprite, you could have Fenrir and Unicorn. You Fenrir one of their monsters, they starter, you Unicorn the other, and a lot of times that's just game because pure Sprite decks are pretty like easy to read. And then Borosword Dragon, there is some combos where you can make this very easily with another the Doom Broker or something like that. You can hit directly with the Doom Broker, spin away one of their guys, and then Borosword attack, and then use Borosword's effect to turn Doom Broker, and then just go for game. It's very easy. You could also play Access Code Talker if you want to. This is just something I prefer right now. It doesn't come up a lot. Usually you can just kill them without it, but again, it's just something that I was considering. Appaloosa, you can make a 4-material Appaloosa very easily. You could also make if your hand's very good and you have a Magician Souls or a Telephon, you could also make a Link Rebo next to it, so they have to make a very annoying Appaloosa to out. And then we already went over the 2 Diviner targets, and then the Baron, which you make with Libromancer Fire and Diviner after sending Herald. So that is the deck, and this is more consistent than I would like to admit, if I'm being quite honest with you. This is a very absurd deck that I'm really loving right now. I even picked up an entire Libromancer core for very cheap, because these cards are very budget. A lot of these cards are replaceable. I would please recommend do your own testing, because this is very if you're going to replace cards like Fenrir, Magician Souls, Baron, you really need to put a lot of thought process into it because of just how your hands are, and you need to make the best out of what you have. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this FTK. This is something that is just something fun. We're going to an Ishizu format that isn't going to be fun, so I figured why not? I'll upload a fun deck that is not Ishizu, because obviously I'm a competitive player at heart. I am going to be playing Ishizu. But I also like to have fun in this game and play road decks and play something different. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys do end up trying this out, please let me know how it goes in the comments down below. And do not forget to subscribe. I am really working very hard to hit 1,000 subscribers. So with that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.